Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. DICE released Episode 3 of their Dev Talk series for Battlefield 5. It covers a wide range of topics, including weapon specializations, some significant UI improvements, update to gunplay, sight visibility, and more. One of my personal highlights of the week was confirmation that DICE plans to remove the buying multiple weapon system for Battlefield 5 and replace it with the ability to swap between progression trees instead. This seems like a massive upgrade to the current way that things work. The Dev Talk also showed that DICE has been hard at work doing some deep dives into the multiplayer netcode, trying to reduce the amount of times that you die seemingly instantly, which is the result of damage stacking on too few frames, so you don't get enough indicators. Apparently they're running a full deep dive here, and then they're also looking at input latency issues to give us as snappy and responsive of a game as possible. Footage in the Dev Talk shows off some really nice clips of the Eras map and also the Hamada map, with a few little highlights thrown in here and there. We also get to see the cool new bolt-action rifle, a new assault rifle in action, and we get to see the MG42, which has some pretty impressive bullet penetration capabilities, shooting through not just boards and wood, but also sandbags. A full blog post was also published talking about DICE's attrition system and their rationale behind how they think it's going to affect gameplay. Tons of information came out this week, and if you want to know more, I recommend checking out my video on Friday that goes into much more detail. PUBG's war against cheaters on PC hit a new milestone this month of over 13 million total bans. Fortunately, it seems like the situation has been improving since the massive 1 million player ban wave earlier this year. The total number of bans per week is on decline. The game's latest patch also implemented a new anti-cheat solution developed in-house. At the moment it's optional, but it won't be once the compatibility issues are fixed. The update also added a proper ranking system. After playing 10 placement matches, the game will determine your rank tier. As you play, you earn and lose points towards your rank based on your performance. It's nice to have some sense of individual progression in PUBG finally. Since launch, players have relied on their leaderboard positions to determine their skill relative to other players. But unfortunately, thanks to rampant cheating, the leaderboards have always been wildly inaccurate. Also, the game update seems to be causing matchmaking issues for many players. Before this patch, players could manually select their region. The game now automatically selects your region based on ping. It'll place you in less ideal regions if matchmaking takes too long. The problem is the threshold for too long seems to be a matter of seconds in this case. Players that previously played without issue when they could manually select their region are now reporting higher pings and more desync related problems. Rockstar released a new gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. It showcases many activities and gameplay elements that were hinted at in the previous trailer. The game's first-person mode also got a quick demo. GTA 5's FPS mode was launched well after the game's initial release. The implementation, while good, still left a lot to be desired. Red Dead Redemption 2's first-person mode is hard to gauge from the new footage, but it does look a bit more polished than GTA 5's. This time around, the FPS mode will be launching with the game. Still no official word on a PC port, unfortunately. Gameplay footage for Amazon's upcoming MMO game New World has leaked. Some of the game's various elements like crafting, hunting, and general combat are shown. No PvP content was included in the leak, but it's apparently taken from a private beta. The game is set in an open-world, colonial-era environment, but doesn't seem too grounded in reality. At one point, the player fights off an enemy that looks kinda like a zombie. New World will supposedly support up to 10,000 players per server, but there's no telling exactly what that means. Amazon are currently developing at least 2 games, New World and a battle royale title called Crucible. Neither game has a release date. Cyberpunk 2077's publisher in Turkey may have accidentally revealed a 2019 release window for the game. The tweet hasn't been substantiated by CD Projekt Red, but a 2019 release seems quite likely. The game is technically playable from start to finish. Development is currently focused on adding side content and polishing everything up. Warner Bros. Announced they'll be handling distribution for 2077 in North America. They previously distributed The Witcher 2 and Witcher 3. Killing Floor 2's annual Halloween event is now live. It adds a new map called Monster Ball, Halloween skins for several modes, effects, and zombie sounds, as well as 3 new weapons. Players that own the game Road Redemption get a spiked baseball bat as part of a cross-promotion with Killing Floor. The Halloween event update included several balance adjustments and bug fixes as well. CSGO's latest update introduced new character models for the FBI faction. They appear on Nuke, Agency, and Office. The new models fit the game's updated art style a lot better. The patch also made it so players can stand on top of each other in casual matches, but you can still walk through teammates as has always been possible in casual. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is getting 4 significant updates from this month to next February. This month's update will include General Grievous, a hero health rework, and general regeneration balancing. In November, players can expect Obi-Wan Kenobi, a new galactic assault map set on Geonosis, and new vehicles. January will have Count Dooku and some Clone Trooper appearance updates. And finally, February will include Anakin Skywalker, a new game mode featuring capture points and capital ship takedowns, and more Clone Trooper cosmetics. As someone who hasn't put that much time into Star Wars Battlefront 2 since launch, I gotta say this update actually sounds really cool and I might come back and check it out. Ubisoft has finally opened up about the future of Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia franchises. In a recent interview with Game Informer, their chief creative officer was quoted saying, "We're fighting for resources. It's not a question of will, it's a question of means." This really sounds like they're working to get development started for the new entries in both franchises, but haven't gotten support quite yet. Splinter Cell's main character, Sam Fisher, recently appeared in DLC for Ghost Recon Wildlands. In hindsight, that may have been a move on the devs' part to show customers are still interested in Splinter Cell. Fans reacted very positively to Fisher's appearance, so hopefully Ubisoft gets things started soon. Longtime CEO and president of Blizzard, Mike Morhaime, is stepping down. He'll take on an advisory role at the company to make way for his replacement. Morhaime co-founded Blizzard in 1991 and oversaw the release of the company's most successful titles like StarCraft II, World of Warcraft, and the Diablo series. He also worked on aspects of many Blizzard titles as a programmer or executive producer. Windows users frustrated with the forced updates and automatic restarts can breathe a sigh of relief. The latest update for the OS added a new feature to game mode that prevents automatic restarts while gaming. It's been possible to set active hours for the automatic updates in Windows 10 for some time, but many users either don't know about the feature or haven't configured it correctly. Regardless, it's nice to see Microsoft doing something to alleviate that problem. The same update also implemented DirectX ray tracing for all users. People that bought NVIDIA's latest RTX GPUs can expect game and software updates to start rolling out that support the video card's major selling point, hardware-accelerated ray tracing. Battlefield 5 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider are both supported titles, with more on the way next year. PlayStation 4 players could be getting the ability to change their username in a future update. According to some leaks and reporting by Kotaku, the console's latest firmware version 6.0 laid the foundation required to get the name-changing system online. If rumors are true, users can expect an update soon. The old-school first-person shooter, Soldier of Fortune, was recently added to GOG's collection of titles. Unfortunately, the attention it's brought with it has led to a cease and desist directed at essentially a mod for the game that makes it run properly on modern hardware. The game's publisher, Activision, apparently told the mod's developer to take them down shortly after the game's GOG launch. The mod, called SOF Plus, patches some severe security issues with the game that could allow hackers to control your PC remotely. It also enables widescreen support and fixes many of the game's bugs. Hopefully GOG, Activision, and the modder can resolve this situation, as it seems like the mod team has made some pretty big improvements to the game. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which story you thought was the most interesting, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.